This week,
we wrap up the fall sports season,
highlight esports for all grade levels,
take a peek inside of the world of graphics,
and we take some reps with high school and college strength coaches.
All of that and more
on the Warrior Weekly. Good morning, Warriors, and welcome to this week's edition of the Warrior Weekly, presented by Warrior Student Media. I'm Madison Harvey.
And I'm Charlotte Alexander. Today we begin with a season recap of the fall sports season, which wrapped up so many sports over the past few weeks.
As the leaves start falling from the trees, we take a look back at your McHenry fall sports team. Your McHenry varsity volleyball team had a challenging but rewarding year in one of the toughest conferences in the state.
So we did really good. We played hard against every team. We had some really big wins. We had some games that we totally could have won, but in all of it we were fighting super hard. We did a very hard season, but we did pretty good overall.
Your McHenry varsity volleyball team had a challenging but rewarding year in one of the toughest conferences in the state. McHenry varsity soccer fought a hard season, consisting of a lot of highs and lows.
Season was a mix of emotions. We had some highs and some lows. We ended up winning our McHenry Classic tournament, which was a high of the season, and had a good run at the regionals, but we did suffer some disappointing losses across the season.
The soccer team was 0-9 in conference and overall was 6-13-2. Your McHenry football team had a rough season that did not have the outcome they wanted, but it was a huge learning experience.
I think the season was a little disappointing, and we lost a few close games that I think we could have pulled out to make the season much better. But as an individual, I had a pretty good season. It was just really fun playing with all the guys and closing out my senior year. It was really fun.
Kyle was 5th in the state in receiving yards at the end of the regular season, which was one of the bright lights in a dark year. The swimming season was full of improvements and fighting their way back after COVID took last year's season.
Our team actually came together really well this season. Everything we went through last season with not having a full season kind of brought us all together. We did pretty good at our swim meets. I think almost all of us dropped time at least once.
The swimming team was 3-2 in conference. The boys' golf season was a success compared to previous seasons.
As a whole, we were 10-3 as a team. I think last year we probably had 4 or 5 wins, so we improved a lot. 6-3 in conference, 4th place out of 9 or 10 teams that we have in our conference. So improved a lot since last year, and especially with my game too. Didn't even make sectionals last year. Made sectionals just missed state, and all around it was a great golf season.
The boys' golf team was 6-3 in conference and 10-3 overall to end an amazing season. The girls' golf team put a lot of effort into their season, and it showed with their winning record.
Our season went good. We placed in the top most of the time in conference. We placed, I think, like 4th or 5th or something like that. But our team worked hard, so I think it was a good year just because of the effort we put in.
The girls' golf team finished with an 8-5 record, capping off an amazing season. The cross-country team established some major accomplishments and learned how to become a team post-COVID.
Everyone improved a lot over the season, and we were able to make it to sectionals as a girls' team this year for the first time since 2016, so I'm really proud of everyone.
We learned a lot about how running as a team can really impact your performance overall in a race. And I did my best to help out all the young guys achieve that and hopefully move that on towards those younger guys as freshmen that come in next year.
The girls' cross-country team made it to sectionals as a team, and 1 made it to state. For the boys, 3 made it to sectionals, capping off a successful season. The girls' tennis team went 5-15 overall in a challenging season.
Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we're Rayan Ahmed, Cooper Bruin, and Dylan Machashik.
While fall sports may be over, one sport that continues year-round is the MCHS Esports team. Students freshman through senior gather to compete and play games like Rocket League, Valorant, and more each week in the Esports arena at Upper Campus.
Wait, you're alive? Yes, sir.
With an open mind, MCHS has been stepping into uncharted territory, esports. Every week, the competitive gaming team competes in various tournaments like Rocket League, Super Smash Bros., or Valorant.
Esports, well, the E stands for electronic, and then sports. So that involves anything electronically and declaring it as a sport. There are some video games that are held to a standard of a competition, just like any other sport like soccer or football. Two teams, in this case schools, could go up against each other.
The group also plays laid-back social games like Among Us or Jackbox to encourage team bonding, improving group dynamics and building friendships strengthen their competitive drive.
It's been very fun to just be able to talk to other people about games and shared hobbies and stuff, and just get to hang out and be part of a team.
Before the team competes, they warm up their skills by playing a few casual rounds. Working together, hyping each other up, and giving their best effort makes up the foundation of the esports team.
We try to get at least a game in, a casual game, or like at least a comp game, just to try to get our skills warmed up. And then once we're ready, we like to, just play it out, do the best we can, have the best communications, and you get the point.
With the concept of organized competitive gaming being introduced to MCHS and our schools improving the tech, the future of esports is bright. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we're Kira Kearns, Layla Moreno, and Hannah Koval.
If you're looking to join esports, contact Mr. Aguilar with any questions or to get their schedule.
Next, Warriors Inc. has been a staple of MCHS over the last decade. This year, they're newly renovated and have the capabilities to go bigger and better. Warrior Student Media has the story.
The new graphics lab led by Mr. Connor is reaching out to a whole new audience for people interested in the field.
It's been interesting. It's been unique to transition from east to west. It's good because I'm getting access to a lot more students than I did previous years. And the exposure has been really good, having a lot of people come and see and view what we have going on in the building.
The new change expressed by Mr. Connor is getting him more excited to work with his students to master new skills.
It's fun. It keeps me wanting to come to work, and I shouldn't even say work, I should say come to school, because I get to work with my students who get to learn what it's like to work in the industry. And you get to deal with new people and new ideas every day, so every day isn't the same thing. We're constantly changing and learning new things.
Lastly, Connor expresses how there isn't new content, but new learning opportunities because of the new addition.
I would say not new content, but we are learning to add in and do more things. So for instance, we got a new automatic screen printing press, so we're allowed to show kids and teach them how to actually print using an automatic screen printing press for my upper level kids. We've also added more materials and learned new things. Such in previous years, we've wrapped cars, and now we've gone to being able to wrap walls and do all the things like the wall that you see behind us with Jessup. So this was all done with Jessup material, and my students have learned to print it, design it, and then apply it and actually install all the stuff that you guys see around the building. So the students have gotten a lot of extra things just by being here. Not necessarily new equipment, like the new screen printing equipment, but they're learning new things, and I think that's a really good thing.
These new improvements are guaranteed to help students in more ways for years to come. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly were Colin Kojitsky, Gavin Larrick, and Nate Gibson.
Finally, McHenry High School and Dr. John Bierbauer welcome high school and college strength and conditioning coaches from around the state of Illinois to Upper Campus.
Strength conference was held October 29th at 9 a.m. in the Upper Campus weight room. This year, Coach Bierbauer led the event.
It really is good to be together and support each other, build relationships. The goal today is to leave inspired, take something away.
Our first speaker was Matt Gifford, followed by Adam Vogel, who discussed in his presentation how strength made him a better person.
What was the best way to be around athletes was to go into strength conditioning and physical education. Biggest thing I took away was how to be a man and how to treat people right, try to be respectful to everyone, and trying to think about how I can do things for others and not always myself.
Our next guest speakers were Tommy Christian and Drew Pothoff, who talked about his leaders and how they inspired him to become a better leader.
My role models, like I said, were my high school coaches, a few of my college coaches, because they always believed in me and they always encouraged me. They pushed me. Wasn't always easy, didn't always like them in high school and college, but they pushed me, they encouraged me. Never thought I would go to college, and my high school coaches pushed me to get there, and never thought I would be a coach and athletic director in college, and they pushed me to do that. So, like I said, I took away their empathy and the way they cared about kids and the way they treated people, always making sure that you were all right, always making sure if you made a mistake, you know, you got chewed out, but they had their arm around you after practice to make sure you were okay. They treated me and my teammates, you know, like we were part of their family.
Our next speakers were Kevin Benegies and Katie Galargi. Katie talked about her gratitude for her main support systems who helped her grow as she became a leader.
Hindsight, this is a super adult answer, but my parents have been great supporters to me financially, emotionally, and just spending a ton of time with me and helping me grow and develop as an athlete and as a young lady. Stay humble and just put your head down and work. So life is not fair, and if you can find a way to essentially find the good in everything, I think you can have that attitude of gratitude, as cheesy as it sounds.
The conference ended with a short speech from our superintendent, followed by a barbecue.
Myself, first off, welcome McHenry. I am the proud superintendent here, but I wanted you to hear from me to say thank you. Thank you for everything you do, not just for the physical development of our students, but the social emotional health.
This is Gina Greenwald, Preston Boyson, and Gabe Cruz reporting for the Warrior Weekly.
That's all for today's show. Be sure to follow the Warrior Weekly on all social media platforms, including Twitter, Insta, and TikTok.
For Charlotte Alexander and all of Warrior Student Media, I'm Madison Harvey. Have a great week, Warriors.